Do a countdown.
3, 2, 1.
Alright, good. That's probably gonna bite me in the later, but anyway. Alright. Hello, welcome to the pilot episode of the first Kutztown Podcast, where it stars 4 assholes, for most of the time wearing glasses that you probably never heard of. We are just gonna talk usually about the intricacies that go into Kutztown and just like majors, communities, organizations, or just like any career path or any facet at Kutztown that we find interesting. Like previously stated, this is a pilot episode, so we're trying to get everything out and then just like trying to figure it all out and just make sure we have something together. So in rotating order, to my left we got...
I am Cade O'Connell. I am a CTM major at Kutztown University, and yeah.
Hello everyone, I am Dereck Martinez. I am also a CTM major here at Kutztown, and I'm a senior.
Oh, I should probably mention I'm also a senior.
Yeah, already
Great
a
start.
senior. Wait, Dereck, who am I?
Who are you?
Yeah, who am I?
You're Rex.
Last time I
Oh,
checked,
yeah, right, yeah.
I thought it was Ernesto for some reason.
Who
Yeah.
are you people?
Rex Franklin, that's right. Yeah, hey everybody, I'm Rex Whittington. I'm a CTM major, and I'm a junior.
Wow. So, as previously stated, you've probably never met us before, at least we introduced ourselves. Now, now that we got the introduction out of the way, I wanted to talk about what like escapades or like what have we done so far in this major? Is there anything that you guys want to discuss or like talk about? Any funny stories revolving around it?
I mean,
I don't know.
there.
I don't know.
Okay, so what I remember, one thing I do remember, like specifically of recent memory here in this program was, all 4 of us here were in a group for a
That's right.
production in like
Cinematography.
Cinematography, yeah.
That's right.
we
yeah.
were in a production group for cinematography, and we had a few other people in that group like give us problems pretty much to the point where we had to split the group up at literally like the last 2 weeks of production
It went from like a 12, 14 person group to two
6 person groups. Yeah.
Or actually, no, it was like 3 groups because there was the group of 3.
Yes, that is also true. But the funny thing about that whole thing is the one group that was giving us problems, they decided to do their production of their final in the studio the same day Live Event Productions was doing Tower Talks.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
and
I
I
did
was
not know
at
that.
that production. So when we were done with Tower Talks, because we finished way before them, because we know what we're doing. So, and we used like these like gray boxes, like the risers in that. So we had to drag that all the way from the auditorium back to the studio. So we had to halt their production to move everything back. And when that happened, I was like, yeah, you kind of deserve that. You kind of deserve it.
Deserve to wait
You deserve to
through
wait.
all
Okay, are
this.
you aware that I'm going to show this to our professor, Jonathan Joy? If you're watching this, hello.
I was not aware of this, but still, it's a
I
funny
was-
story.
I gotta
Probably
show
should
it
have
to
said that
someone.
before we started.
All right, then cut that.
Cut it out.
Cut that out. Yeah.
All
You'd
right.
probably chuckle about it, but yeah.
Should we just start over?
I wouldn't
No,
really
let's
say
continue on
so.
this.
I mean, let's just keep going.
Let's just keep going.
If
This is
anything,
a
it's just a
podcast.
funny thing to just say. I mean, he knows that there's turmoil. Dereck actually went up to Jonathan about it, and he did the mature thing. We decided to be like, kind of just, we were just like to each other like, there's a storm coming. That was
Yeah,
kind of
can
what like
tell.
me and Cade were talking about behind the scenes about it. Like I was kind of like, I felt like the negotiator. Like I understood it kind of coming from both points, but still, like, Cade, we've been friends since 3rd grade, so I'm always going to take his back on it.
Right.
But I was trying to, like, soften the blow, kind of, and I was, like, again, like, just making sure, like, nothing gets, like, too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And Rex was just happy to be there.
Yeah, no, I'm just happy that I'm doing something.
Yeah.
Look.
I'll work with a lot of people.
Look, I'm just gonna say as full disclosure, by the way. I wouldn't be so like, haha, you guys deserve that. I wouldn't be like that if we haven't already shot something with our last scene recreation. I wouldn't be like that. If we like just didn't have an idea of what to do for the final one, and it just like that happened, I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks for them. Yeah, that sucks. But the fact that we went through multiple times, do we really want to do this last scene recreation, and then shot something and spent like many days trying to figure out how we're going to shoot things, only for it to just fall over on and just do nothing with it anymore.
I really
like that's what really set me off about the entire thing, was that we got stuff done, and then all of a sudden it was like, no, we're not going to do it.
I really wanted to see that footage. Does anyone have it?
I was so excited to do that because it was literally equipment we've never used before. It was going to be something challenging, which was what we wanted, and then we just stopped caring, or at least some of us stopped caring. And like, I don't know, that just annoyed me.
It's funny because like this was like kind of coming from the same people that wanted to do a fight scene from Daredevil, and I put a stop to that as fast as I could because there was no way.
I mean, most of that was just us messing around. So.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think that's why Joy ended up putting no fight scenes on a lot of his new syllabus for his classes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so yeah. I mean, even outside of that, it's just like I think it's a very complex thing to organize, especially when you're doing like small production groups and you're all students with no budget. It's like it kind of is hard to like block that and like do it well. Yeah. So it kind of makes sense.
But aside from that, you guys already know like my story throughout, like pretty much me with CTM and how I started out. But just for surprisingly those who like ever watch this podcast, Jonathan knows this, but my first class with him, my first like big CTM class where we're actually messing around with like the equipment and everything was advanced cinematography. Now, just to put in perspective, I came in very late. Kutztown, it's a great college by the way, but like just like my transcript wasn't really handled correctly, so I had to so when I eventually talked to the advisors or just like the people who make like the schedules for you, like going into it, because I haven't met Joy yet, I didn't see my advisor, I didn't talk to him, I think beforehand. I had no idea how you made a schedule. I thought I was like just jumping on it. It's like you do it like a month prior. You don't. The time I got there, they said like there was no classes open for me, and I told them I was a transfer, and like the moment I told them that I was a transfer, they just went silent and they like huddled to each other, and I'm like, oh no. So I'm like, oh, this is great, this is gonna lead to something amazing. So they go to me, it's like, hey, we're gonna put you in these classes, and it was I think advanced audio, audio engineering, advanced cinematography, and what was the last one I was doing? 2 brain cells, as previously stated. This podcast took a while, but so pretty much I only had like 4 classes because they couldn't fit me into any, and the ones that they did fit me into, I couldn't. I was like, I wasn't really prepared, so going into it, I'm like, okay, advanced cinematography, I've probably done something similar. I should be fine. I go into it.
The famous last words.
Famous last words. This was probably the most terrified I've ever been going into a class. Because, like, everyone is very familiar with Jonathan Joy. Good professor, by the way, getting some brownie points in when he sees this. But he's just, like, familiar with all the students, and I'm just here with my junior ass walking in. Just like, hey, guys. And, he goes, yeah, you guys probably already know how to use a Zoom, but just, like, a refresher past break. We'll go through them. So we go through the Black Magics, I meant to say, the cameras. And we're given these, like, going from Northampton, I'm a transfer from Northampton, going into it, we were just renting, like, DSLRs, like, basic, like, Nikon cameras, like, very, like, basic stuff. And then the jump that we get to the black magic is like a night and day. It is terrifying. So when I'm holding this camera for the first time, it's like holding a child. It's like it's like 3,500 last time I checked. I could be way off, but
Somewhere around there.
it was somewhere around that ballpark, and I was terrified holding it. Like, it's the nice touchscreen setup. You have to protect the sensor every time you put the new lens on. These were, keep in mind, my Nikon was a changing lens. It was a, what's the word? I'm the best CTM student. It's a lens that's on this. Like, you could change focal length.
Oh, yeah. I'm blanking on it.
Johnson.
Joy's gonna watch this and be like, these idiots.
Face palm.
You fools.
You fools.
How dare you?
How dare you not remember this piece of equipment?
I'm just
I don't remember
right now.
anything.
So,
I mean-
pretty much, we had those lenses.
Yeah.
And we didn't have those on the Blackmagics. They were, you had to change them out. Like, we had like 24 millimeter, 35 millimeter, 50, and then 85, and we had to constantly change them out, which was new for me, which is sad, but it's true. And it was always protect the sensor. Like, putting on a new lens was an event. Like, you were terrified to do it, but thankfully you do it, and it's just like a satisfying click. But yeah, so that was just the beginning of it. Funnily enough, Dereck's in advanced cinematography. He doesn't have to do this anymore, but we had to do scene recreations. And going into it, I was terrified. The first project we had to do was for a movie called Columbus. And it
I thought you
was
said Columbo for a second.
Now,
One more thing,
one
Chief.
more thing.
One more thing. There's one thing I don't get.
Have you ever filmed a night shot?
You know what kind of lens this is?
So we had to shoot this interior car shot for Columbus. And to make a long story short, I don't want to rattle on. It was awful, and I had no idea what I was doing. So pretty much to make a long story short, first group didn't really turn out that well. The people I paired with, they didn't know how to use the equipment, which is just what I needed. So it was a very hack job project for the first one, but we got 91. And then I weaseled my way in to get into the group with Cody and Caitlin. Their group, which hopefully later down the road we'll get to interview them for a podcast.
Oh, that'd be
Nicest people ever. They're great.
Oh, yeah.
They're still
Cody.
here, by the way.
Huh?
They're still here. Like, Cody has an office here.
Oh, I know, but
Yeah.
just like to make sure, and thankfully, like I'll contact him. But
Yeah.
I weaseled my way into some of like the more professional students, or like they've been around the block, they know what they're doing,
Yeah.
and yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah.
And here I am, really struggling to put on a simple podcast. But yeah, and then right after that, I had to go to regular cinematography, so that was a very funny, experience.
Doing it backwards.
Yeah.
Doing it backwards.
I'm a backwards student. I don't do things by the book. Let me tell you that.
Oh yeah.
Backwards Barry over here.
Yeah, and that semester when you had advanced cinematography, that was spring of 22, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember that
right.
was a very hectic semester for the professors and students. So like, just because like, yeah, like you got into advanced cinematography without regular cinematography, and like even something similar happened to me and Rex, where we had a documentary and we didn't even have regular cinematography or post, and that class is about making your own documentary. And I feel like I felt so bad for SUAC because it's like majority of the students were like us, where it's like we didn't get to take those classes because we were coming like right out of like everything being online because of the COVID and everything, and like everything was just going back to normal. And there were so many incoming freshmen that needed these fundamental classes, but then there were upperclassmen like me and Rex, and even you with like advanced cinematography again. It's like we just unfortunately couldn't get everyone to get the classes they needed, and just created all this chaos for a bit. So
Yeah, I remember actually, like, when I was taking doc, there was a point somewhere in the middle of the semester where SUAC, it hit her just how little experience everyone in our class had with cameras, and she was like, you guys know nothing? You didn't do you? And we were like, no, we have no idea what you're talking about. And she was like, oh my god, I gotta get cameras here and show you guys. And she actually did. She brought out like five or six sets of the doc cams, and she was like, go film something. go in your pods and go film something. And we did. My group, we went in, we shot stuff by the tanks by campus. So that was cool.
Oh yeah, by the armory.
Yeah,
It
that was
took
fun.
me till the second semester to find out that we had an armory. And
Oh.
it was the funniest thing with like the tanks and everything. I'm like, where am I?
They're so cool. They're so cool going over there.
I just find it funny, and it's even more funny when you find out Old Main can double as a bomb shelter.
Yeah.
You get
I
like
found out about that literally second semester, and I was like, what?
yeah, and you
What?
just see like the Fallout shelter
What?
signs.
It's like laundry room, computer lab, bomb shelter. What? A bit of a jump there.
You're going through like a list of like things to see. It's like
Yeah.
The
computer
3
lab,
things you have to know about Old Main.
One, it's haunted.
Haunted? Oh yeah, that's right, it is. 2, you will get trapped. You can't navigate through Old Main.
Yes.
Impossible. And 3, bomb shelter.
Yeah, I am so glad. Okay, well, I first have a question for you guys. So, you guys came to Kutztown like just for the first full 4 years, right? Like you guys are transfer students.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I'm not a
Oh,
transfer.
So Seb and I both went to Northampton
yeah.
for 2 years.
Okay.
Well, me for 2 years. I don't know how long you were there.
I went in for engineering initially. I failed miserably. I sucked at both pre-calculus and chemistry.
Oh, I suck at
Wasn't
that
even
too.
regular calculus. That made it even more sad. And yeah, that was the most abysmal I've ever done in any like education system or any semester. I was miserable. I was literally like tearing, bawling to my parents, like I'm not doing good. I'm sorry.
I don't know what a bowl is. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Best parents ever.
Dad, I don't feel so good.
Because like leaving high school, I didn't know what I want to be.
Oh,
like
no,
when
same.
did you
Yeah,
guys?
yeah.
When
Yeah,
did you guys figure out what you want to do?
Oh, I've known forever.
Yeah, I figured it out. Like,
Yeah.
sophomore year of high school that I wanted to be a screenwriter.
I envied those
Yes.
people.
I have a very like similar thing with you, Seb. Like besides like the 2-year thing, because I didn't go to any community college. I went here, but when I came here, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like I came in undeclared, but I took some computer science classes because I thought like, oh, maybe that's a good like viable career path because it's a growing industry and a lot of people are going towards that. And then I too failed miserably. I almost dropped out like my very first semester in 2019 because I just didn't think I don't think I'm cut out. Even before I came to Kutztown, I was having like some issues. Because then just like that whole fall 2019 was just such a mess for me personally, and just the cherry on top was just doing really bad in those classes. And, like I just didn't know what the hell I was doing, but eventually I did find CTM, and I never thought I would ever pursue this as like a career option, but I'm very happy I did because everything's like going
Hell yeah.
really great right now.
Oh my god, my first semester, dude. I was miserable. Okay, I had fun. My classes were very fun, and I enjoyed it. But socially, nothing.
Oh, yeah, no, same.
I had
I
like
have a story here. But go ahead. Yeah,
I was. So I went in initially because like I never cared what college I was going to, which is a really bad mindset, but that's just who I am. And I was just like, hey, Cade, do you like Kutztown?
Yeah, he literally texted me. He's like, hey, do you like Kutztown? I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cool because I've already spent a semester here pretty much. And he's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. What? Like,
That's all I need.
Yeah, I might come here now. So I'm the reason he's here.
So I went to Kutztown. I was hoping to hang out with Cade more because me and Cade,
Yes.
we've been friends since 3rd grade, but we were the friends who were never in the same classes no matter what. The last time we were in the same class, I think, was in like 5th grade.
Yeah.
Like
middle
math?
school. Yeah.
Mr. Warfel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fantastic name
And-
for a
and-
teacher.
He was my old
Funny.
neighbor. He was cool.
And funny, well, here's the funny story. That room for Mr. Warfel, that was my mother's room when she was a teacher at the middle school.
Was it?
And then she got fired, and then he took and then she took Mr. Warfel took the room. So, and then initially I wasn't even gonna be in your room. I was in a different math room as like my first room, and then I got transferred because I was just like I couldn't pay attention because we had kids that literally were like the loudest kids I've ever met in my life.
Oh my god.
Well, I say that now, but I play Overwatch. So it's different. But like back then, like the loudest kids I ever met. So they moved me to that classroom, and then I saw all of a sudden, as soon as I walk in, I see Sam. Like, all right, cool, that was worth it.
Okay, thank God. But yeah, not at Cade's detriment at all. But Cade wasn't really as available as like I was hoping he would be because with esports and everything, and it's not his fault. Like esports is like his main way of making
Esports,
friends, and like he wants his own social thing, and like. Once in a while, like we would actually, He was actually right behind me in dorm, so I could just walk over to his place, and we watched
Clone
Book of
Wars.
Boba Fett and Clone Wars.
Still need to finish Clone Wars, by the way.
We still do. I'm halfway through. I'm on season 4 right now.
Oh.
We're just
alright.
before the episodes before Maul shows up. Like, before
okay.
Maul's first
Savage.
Oh, okay.
We
Alright.
just
Crabs.
finished that. We literally just finished that episode of Savage finding him.
Yeah. But yeah, make a long story short, second semester, bloomed, met you guys, actually became acquainted. I knew Dereck at the end of the first semester, but we never really became friends until second semester, and thankfully, rest is history, doing
Right.
great now, like socially thriving. This is the happiest I've been in terms of it, so thank you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I feel very similarly because I feel like I don't know. I think when I was younger, I was a lot more shy and I didn't really talk too much. But I've realized, I forget who, I might have been talking to Dereck about this, but now it's been so long that I think I talk a lot more than I think I do, but I still think of me as being a very quiet, shy, sort of introverted person. But now, since I've come to KU, I have a much wider sort of circle of people that I know or who I'm like close with, and I'm not as used to that as I've ever been. So that's having this is very new to me because I never really hung out with anyone in high school. I like knew people, but I didn't really hang out with people. I didn't even go outside.
Yeah, same here.
So like when COVID hit, I was like, oh, this is just my life now. And there's not much change. So I was like, okay, I get to stay home, away from people.
I just remembered my fourth class for the first semester was digital writing and rhetoric. Which
okay.
I thought would be the most boring class, but funnily enough, that was the class that made me like go the most crazy with video editing, like making something I wanted. Which it was just a fun class. That's actually how I made my YouTube channel, Cthulhu's Creek. That's how it started. Have you ever seen those videos?
No, but I know of your.
I made 3 videos, 2 on cryptids, 1 on a location in Pennsylvania.
Cryptids.
I like cryptids. I want to continue that.
I forgot about those.
Yeah. I was originally supposed to start a podcast with my brother and his friends, and the first topic of that podcast was going to be cryptids, and we never got around to it.
At first I thought you said my brethren.
My brethren.
My cryptid brethren.
So to circle back on what Rex said, that just reminded me of my first semester here. I remember like, I don't know if it was like the 3rd or 4th day, but like my 3rd or 4th day here, I was just I only went to 2 places, Rickenbach and my dorm at West, and that was it. I didn't go anywhere else because I was like, I don't know where to go. I don't know who to meet. And I literally remember just in my room, like kind of just breaking down. Like I literally was just like, I don't know what to do. I'm texting you. I'm texting my other friend Abby from our childhood. Just like, I don't know what to do. And Abby literally calls me and is like, Cade, you need to look up clubs. You need to then find out anything you can of anything you like and then go to it. She basically told me to basically man up and then go. And
Go outside.
Pretty much.
Touch grass.
Touch grass.
Well, funny story you say that. So anyway, I'm looking through clubs, and I was also doing this like before I even arrived at KU, like just briefly. I was like, maybe I'll see something, and I didn't really see much. And then I saw esports. I was like, esports? Ooh, that's pretty cool. And then I saw they had a Discord server, so I joined that. And then I started messaging a couple people on it because I saw they had Overwatch on it. And then the director at the time is a guy we know named Ash. And so I messaged him and the president of esports, Connor, about like what it's about, like what is there like an Overwatch practice, like is it an official thing, like what, like basically the whole gist of it. And he's like, yeah, we have like actual like we're gonna have like open practice literally tomorrow if you want to show up. And I showed up and I met basically everyone I still know to this day from esports. I met my girlfriend through esports. Yeah. And the funny story is, about like the first 3 times I ever saw her, I was scared of her. I was terrified of her because I was just like,
now I'm intrigued.
I was literally just, I don't know why. I was just like, this is one of those people I don't want to piss off because I'm scared of like what she would be like if she was pissed off. So I just basically tried to always be like good to her and be like nice to her and everything. And then after I like went to South a few times with the whole Overwatch team, I basically got to know everyone, and now I'm like close friends with everyone, and now I'm dating her, who she is now the current director of the Overwatch League. So I guess it worked out.
That kind of goes with when Cade was talking about his girlfriend and how like he was scared to piss her off. That's kind of how I felt when I met like Cade's entire friend group.
Yes.
This whole time.
Oh
like,
my god.
Nicest people.
Posse.
The KU esports team.
They're super
Super welcoming, at least. They welcomed me with open arms.
Yes.
I'm terrible at Overwatch.
Yeah.
I am. Shut up, man. I'm not good at Overwatch at all. And I was like, Cade was like, you should join the team. And I'm like, no. I'm not good. But like that was my only way in the first semester to like make friends. I felt because I felt like I was joining into like the joint clubs, which is really stupid to think of. But like I was like, you know what? I'm familiar with Overwatch. This is the only esports team that they have a game for that like I've played. I'll join it. It's not good. I still say hi to a lot of the esports people from time to time, but didn't really work out. But
I talk about you all the time.
Do they?
Yeah, I mention you all the time to esports people, and the funny thing is they have another guy in it for League of Legends who's also named Sebastian. So I always have to like clarify. No, not League Sebastian, my Sebastian.
Me,
Little Sebastian.
My Sebastian.
I should call you that now, Little Sebastian.
I'm fine with that. You know what? If I'm a Parks and Rec reference to them, that's fine. But yeah, a lot of the time with Cade, I was like, hey, you want to hang out? It's like, sorry, I'm hanging out with my friends. I never wanted to be that like friend who's like, no, hang out with me. It's like,
you're my friend.
He needs his friend group, man.
You're my only friend.
Yeah.
I need you.
And like I felt bad. That's the thing though. Like when you say that, like I felt very bad. I was like, man, dude, I wish I could hang out with you more.
Yeah, I do appreciate it.
Even this semester, you left West after last semester. Oh, yeah. I just remember the story. I'll tell that in a second. But I just remember like this semester you left West and now you're at AP, and I was like, man, I'm gonna hang out with Seb a lot less than I usually do, and that stinks. But like whatever. At least we're doing this, and like I'm very happy.
I hope that this like thrives and keeps us like.
Look, if you want me back more as a guest, like a reoccurring guest, I'll happily come back.
And this is one thing I'm most excited for with the podcast, because like we have an ensemble of friends who are like down to be on the podcast, and like I just think it'd be really good, like just having, because I always want to do at least 3 people, just like me, a co-host, and a guest. So because I feel like I can't carry a conversation myself, so I need someone else to pick up the slack when I fail. So honestly, like happily, and like. If you ever want to hang out for movie night, which I feel like our dorm's perfect for, there's always that. Me and Cade were roommates in the second semester, and that was fun.
He went from across the street to across the hall between 2 semesters.
And man, that got fun. I remember on the second week, I brought a dart gun, like a Nerf gun.
That was the most fun we've had. He literally brought a small Nerf gun, and then here and there, I would just literally just take it from his room randomly, and then whenever I wanted to talk to him, I was like, hey, open your door. He opens it, and I just instantly shoot him.
Bang, 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 bang.
And then I give it back to him, but that's just our dynamic.
Again, equally as fun. Like we were watching, what did we watch? What came out that semester?
We were watching.
Was that Book of Boba Fett? No, we were watching Better Call Saul.
We were watching Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
Last semester was Book of Boba Fett. Terrible show, by the way. It's just so bad.
Not a fan.
It's
I was disappointed.
Yeah,
and I love
I
Robert
was-
Rodriguez's work, but we'll get to that
Yeah.
later.
And Thames great, but I don't know.
I will
was-
say I appreciate how y'all always try to have like a show to like watch like together because like
Yeah.
with me and my like sweet mates, like we're all like super close, but we're just so busy and like just because like all of our majors are so vastly different that it's hard for us to find time to hang out
Right,
together.
yeah.
Like I remember when we decided to all move in together this past year, my plan was like I wanted to watch like all of like the MCU with them.
Oh, that's
and-
a gargantuan
but
task.
we just never had the time to get around to it. And it just kind of made me sad. But
Yeah, like me and you, Dereck. I feel like we've watched more shows
Yeah,
together
no,
than you and
honestly.
your roommates.
yeah, exactly. You don't even live with me.
Yeah, no, I just pop in and I'm like, hey Dereck, or like we'll go and see movies.
Yeah.
I'll knock on your door, someone else answers, and I know exactly who that is because they all know me now. I'm like the unofficial
Roommate.
Dirk
Yeah.
mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can do more movie nights, like go to the actual theater. Cause me, Dereck, and Rex actually went out to watch The Whale, and I was worried that I was
yeah.
like annoyingly adding myself. I hope.
No, it was really great. I wish.
That's
Cade
a
would
movie
also
that you
join us
should
as
see
well.
with
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like that's
Is it at the theater like just down the street?
The Promenade. No.
No, it's
all the
like-
way, all
it's
the way to
like-
promenade
yeah.
shops.
I
But
got
it's-
so
Oh.
upset.
It's worth it though. It's.
Oh
It
yeah,
is.
I've been
So-
to promenade shops. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like that movie theater's really.
I
cool.
love Kutztown. Oh, I really love how it's like very backroads. It's like a nice college campus. Like they don't have like big stores in the area, so it's like there's a thrift store. There's like grocery shops in the area, just like very backroads. They have this really cool farmers market called Renninger's. I went there this morning. It's great. They had a movie theater that was like one of those local movie theaters where they only had like 2 screens.
Yep.
And I love those a lot because it's very local, very community driven. And I missed out my opportunity to go there
Same.
Yes.
because they would watch when we finished filming my second project for advanced cinematography. Half of my group went to go see the Batman because I was
Oh.
going, and I didn't go because I promised I'd watch it with my older brother.
It's really good.
And
It is.
I was like, you know what? I'll watch a movie next time. Maybe I'll watch like Sonic 2 or something. Just
Sonic
something.
2.
I don't know, just like a movie
Yeah.
that's playing in the area. And I come back, the owner unfortunately passed away,
Yeah.
and they
Oh,
had to
that's sad.
close down the theater, and that is a huge bummer to me.
And
Yeah.
what sucks for me is I had even more opportunity than you because I've been here since 2019,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
never got like this whole time, like those 2.5 years I could have gone. I just
And
never
they're like
did.
cheap too.
Yeah, like
the
$5
ticket-
bucks.
Yeah, it was already $5 to
It
go
was
see
$5 a
movie.
ticket, yeah.
$5 a ticket, and then meanwhile when you go to the promenade shops, it's like $20 a ticket.
Yeah.
It was actually like, it was relatively cheap. I was shocked. It
Oh,
was
you
like
probably got
11,
it
I
before
think.
Yeah.
matinee then, right?
Well, it depends on what you're going for because
Oh, that's it.
their normal screens are like if it's like matinee or regular show, it's anywhere between like $7 to like $12. But the large formats like Dolby and IMAX, those are like they should be like $16, but apparently Disney is upcharging for their movies like a dollar or
Of course
two.
they are.
They're pushing it.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're really pushing it. We'll get
I
to that
don't
later.
Like
in, like,
that. I
in
don't
like the
like
later
that.
half, but quickly just to stay back on topic for the CTM majors, how do you feel that you guys been making more stuff that you've been wanting to do, or do you feel like you've kind of just been like lacking a bit in what like you expected, like between the second and third semester?
See, okay. For me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's kind of different here because I want to go more into like the script writing stuff of things. So I just want to just sit down and write a script. And throughout like these 4 semesters, I've already written a whole show.
Yeah.
Like I literally wrote 2 seasons that are 10 episodes long and a third season that's 6 episodes long of an entire show. And I'm currently writing a sequel to that show during my internship right now. And like I'm almost done with that season, like at least outline wise. Then I'll actually sit down and do the actual scripts for things. But yeah, for that, I am glad that I'm having still some free time to work on this. But when it comes to like actually like in production, the stuff I've made could be a lot better. But like again, it's like what can you do?
It's a training exercise.
It's a training exercise. It's a college film like you're gonna make. Like it's not gonna look like Marvel or like DC ready, or like through special effects wise. But like I don't know. It's just interesting to me how I'm more invested in this stuff than the actual like production stuff. Even though I feel like I could get more into that, it's just I don't know. It's just a weird thing for me to just like not do that.
Yeah, in my case, the second semester was definitely like my jumping point in like making really big projects. Funnily enough, like Johnston, another great professor, people were terrified of him. So was I, but a part of me kind of made me a part of that and like how loose he was given a bad hand in terms of like scheduling, so he couldn't really explain in detail what he wanted from us. But the vagueness of the project description made me go like, all right, I'll make anything like I was interested in making. So I made some of the most ambitious projects I've ever made in that class. One of my favorites was the second one, which was about the CRT television. And that was like very editing focused, very like video essay. Still has one of my favorite shots I did, which was like the TV pan out. And I'm so shocked I got that to work like the way I wanted.
It is good.
It's really good.
Thank you so much. Hopefully with this podcast and like this is the big stuff, honestly, like with live event, and like I'm so excited for a live event because of it's a TV station. You're making TV station based stuff, and I love that. And I've been literally last night I made a spinning KU TV logo that I'm just gonna like throw into the SharePoint. It's like you could take this, just gonna sprinkle that in, and like
Wait, you made like a spinning thing?
So there's this thing I could do with Apple Motion. You can also do in After Effects, but I'm not as
Right.
skilled in After Effects to do it. Where you can take like basic PNG logos, and that's actually how I made the screensaver for the podcast I'm going to use soon.
Oh, nice.
And you just take that, you duplicate it or you replicate it a bunch, stack it on top of each other, and you just make it spin. And it looks like a 3D model. The only issue is when it gets to like side profile,
Right.
it like you can see every individual thing, but in Final Cut I literally at that frame I just put like a block there, which you can never tell it's there because it's only for like a split second. But yeah, it turns into a 3D model, and I want to try doing that with all of the Kutztown assets or like KU Live, so they can use it later if they want.
So I have a question. Are you planning on using it like, say like the how do I want to word this? Like the like coming up next thing, like or like coming up soon, like the and then the basketball game. Like, are you trying to use it for that, or are you trying to use it at like the end of like say the hype reel for
It's funny you mention that. Literally last night, I was like, you know what? I want a creative exercise. So in live event, they put me pretty much in charge of assigning roles for graphics, and
Really?
I completely dropped the ball because I volunteered to do Stay Tuned, but I mixed that up with Please Stand By. So I put all of my work into making this Please Stand By logo. And I was very happy for how it turned out. I thought it looked really nice. But literally Friday morning, it's like, hey, did you make that? I'm like, so Dereck stepped in, made this beautiful Please Stand By. But part of me wanted to like outdo myself with that one. So I'm right now taking the podcast assets of like the spinning splash screen with like the stuff coming by. And I want to try reworking it into a please stay tuned, because I think that would be really cool, like a Kutztown screensaver.
Gotcha.
So later down the road, we'll see what happens, if like it's easier to program or not. I am not experienced with live event at all, and I'm terrified of it.
No, same, but that's the reason why I want to be in this class, because I do want to learn.
Kara seems nice. I'm really hoping I have that moment where like, oh, this is easy.
See, I already took live event production literally last semester, and I was in your guys' shoes. Where like the first 2 weeks I was terrified. I was because again it was like people I've never met before, as well. Like you guys at least like know each other. The only person I know from last semester that was in that was Cody. Like, that's it. That's all I knew. But then like after a couple weeks, and like especially like going into the truck and actually like doing productions with people, you definitely get this like bond with everyone.
Yeah.
And it also helped that I had that in senior sim, so like I knew people that were in senior sim and live event at the same time. So it's just like, hey, I know you too, and yada yada.
Cody is built. for live events.
He is so good at it.
For those who are just tuning in or just don't know who we're talking about, Cody is pretty much the face of the CTM. Cody Holly. He has a YouTube channel called the Cody Network, and he has his own little production thing. A million steps ahead of us. I'm sorry, guys. But if we compare anything, like everything that we ever made, he's probably done tenfold. The first time I met him was during an internship. Mm-hmm. So happy to do what he does. Super energetic. He doesn't drink caffeine. He doesn't take caffeine, which shocked me.
Yeah.
Imagine him on caffeine.
Oh my god.
I don't think it would affect him.
Quicksilver.
I don't think it would.
Quicksilver. Yeah.
But he's leagues ahead of us, man. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't know.
Scary, man, but so happy to teach what he teaches. Nicest dude ever. Super fun person.
Oh, yeah.
He just seems built for it. I feel like Cody's the only friend you would need for a live event.
He's the one who could handle it.
This was the only person I knew of. Like, I didn't, fully know him. I, saw him, here and there in, classrooms and stuff like that, just, walking by. But I never actually knew the guy until, live event production.
He was in my group for advanced cinematography, so he really held my hand through that.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's so weird that me and Cody are the same class, but I haven't had a single, actual class with him.
Really?
We're the same year, though.
Huh.
He also came for fall 2019, so, yeah.
His girlfriend Caitlin is also just very nice, very accommodating, very chill.
Yeah.
She was actually the professor's assistant, Joy's assistant during
she is.
cinematography, which made it even more funny of a reunion because she was in my advanced class. So it's a very funny turn of events of how we just saw each other again. Both of them super great. Hopefully you'll see them on the podcast later to talk about their experiences.
I spelled water.
I'm so disappointed I missed that. Because I was looking at this guy over here.
You'll get to see it on the video. I will emphasize that in editing.
Cut that.
I'm going to add a replay. A slow motion replay of
I
that.
literally just
went...
But I'm sorry, you guys, in terms of, do you feel like you're doing enough for your major?
No, not really. I feel like I have a problem with having a lot of ideas for things, but not actually following through with them. Because I get ideas all the time and I have I don't even know how many just notes in my phone of lists of bits and character ideas or story ideas or even how things would look or even. But I have from what I have made, for just I don't know, school projects or even for film club and stuff. Because film club, we would do these sort of stipulations for your film needs to have next Tuesday bring in a film with something purple or something. And
what does that do, by the way?
Oh, that's due actually.
What's due?
The purple thing is an actual stipulation for next week, and I have no ideas for that, so I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Oh, what class is this for?
Oh no, it's not.
No, it's for a film club.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Were you in film club?
I was in film club. What purple thing?
You know the purple
Any
thing.
purple thing.
I don't.
Yeah. You weren't paying attention. It's you have anything purple in your film. That's it. But it must have a purple.
I feel
thing.
like you're gaslighting me.
I am not.
Just send them a copy of the color purple.
Me and just put on the color purple and that's your whole movie.
There you go.
Just rip it straight from the Blu-ray. No, because me and Kip were talking about. He was like, "Oh well, Dereck has a purple thing."
I don't know what you're talking
your
about.
Your little McDonald's thing. What is it?
Well, I have the grimace, but that wasn't what I was
Grimace.
talking. That's not what I was talking about.
What were you talking about?
The plush dinosaur that I have. Remember?
Yoshi?
No.
Yoshi. Real quick. Rex, I'd say at least anything. You're a great actor. You seem to have a lot of charisma, especially in Spotlight.
That is.
And I envy that.
Yes.
Oh my God, dude. When I saw you play Dracula, where were the Oscars for you? Where's your nomination, man?
You were the anti-Dereck in terms of screen presence. You were the complete opposite in all the best ways.
I when I want charisma on camera, Rex is what I want
Yeah.
to be.
Oh,
But
thank you. I didn't realize that. Well, I will say, oddly enough, when I was in my freshman year of high school, I took acting because I knew. Well, actually, ever since I was like, I think I was 7 or 8 years old when I told my old man that I wanted to be an actor, and he was not a fan of that. He was like,
Aww.
yeah, he was like, I don't make a lot of money, right? And I was like, I don't care. And he was like, he didn't expect that, because my dad, y'all don't know my old man, but he was a scary man. He was big, he was tall, he had a giant beard, white hair, and deep gravelly voice. He was scary. So I never really talked back much to him, but I believed so much that I wanted to be an actor or something, like that, telling stories, that I didn't care what he thought. I knew that I wanted to do that. And so I think that kind of stunned him a bit, that I was like, no, this is what I want to do. And that's what I'm going to do. And especially for how young I was. Because I remember that thought process of realizing that I wanted to play characters and stuff. And then that snowballed into by high school, took acting, and did well in that. That was fun. But then I figured out that I not only enjoyed acting, but also writing. Like you, Cade.
Right.
I very much, because I kept having ideas for movies and what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted, not only what I wanted to play, but what I wanted other people to play for, in front of the camera. And then, so now by the time I got to college here at KU, I realized I wasn't as much a fan of acting, but I was glad I did it, because now I understand how to like talk to actors and stuff. Or like if I do like a directorial sort of position, then I can talk to actors and stuff. But now in KU, I'm doing way more acting than I thought I would be, with like Spotlight or just other people's personal projects and stuff, and that's been really fun. I'm really glad I can do that, because I don't know why, but I'm not a big fan of being around people, like living people.
Really?
Yeah, no,
People
like
are terrible.
yeah, no, because like I've been meaning to go to Target for a while now, but I'm just like mentally I'm like,
Like to shop at Target, to work at Target?
yeah, no, to shop at, because I wanted to buy, there was something at Target that I'm like, oh, they have this at Target, but do I really want to go to Target?
Do you walk into a Target, someone says, hi, welcome to Target, do you just projectile vomit?
No,
like, is it
I
too much for
perform.
you?
I perform me at Target. I
Yeah.
perform what I think I would be as a normal person. And I'm like,
Sign yourself a role.
yeah. No, I have to mentally do that to play a character of me in like Target, and then I'm different at Walmart, because now I'm Walmart Rex. Or maybe I'll go to Giant and I'll be Frank. Now I'm Frank
Hey,
going
what's
to
up,
Giant.
Frank?
Yeah, and like actually yesterday I was at Giant. And the stupid like self-cash or the self-checkout thing,
Yeah.
it like,
Please place your item in the bagging
oh,
area. All items
Unexpected-
must be placed in the bagging
That's
area.
just a human reaction. It's just literally just like,
Unexpected
shut
item.
up.
yeah, no. And then I put my thing in the bag,
Yeah.
my second item, and it was like, please remove unscanned item from the bag. And I was like, bro, I just scanned it though. What are you talking? And then I like scanned a third item, put it in, and it was like, please remove unscanned item from the. And I was like, I can't. Why? Even when you're not a person, I still can't like handle you. But then for some reason, when I'm in front of a camera or in front of a mic, I light up, and I can do anything, and I'm totally comfortable. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if I'm just like a performer or something. I don't know what that is, but I'm glad that is working out for me, and I figured out how to use that to my, to help other people out with their stuff. So that's been a lot of fun.
I jump at the gun every time anyone wants me to act in their thing, because I just want as much footage or just funny footage of me on camera as possible, because I feel like there's just a lot of funny stuff that happens around me, and like, you ever see like those cursed images or just like people making like compilations of something happening? I want to be a subject of that.
Yeah.
This is gonna be ominous foreshadowing if I ever do something bad.
Smashing curse
Yeah.
moments.
like in 20 years, if
I
you're
think
in
I
like a
cursed twice
scandal.
so far.
Oh really? Oh, is there?
So far on
I've
the
been
podcast.
trying so hard to censor
I am
myself.
too.
It's so hard. I've almost dropped an F-bomb like 5 times
Oh.
already.
Yeah. Same.
I didn't know there was a struggle.
No, it's hard, dude. I've cursed my whole life.
Yeah.
Cause like I hung around my old man so much, and he swore like a sailor for his whole life too. So he had no problem with me doing it. But once mom came home from work, then I couldn't curse anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
no.
the same way. It's literally the same way at my home, where at home I'm like PG. I literally
PG.
don't say a single curse word. But as soon as I'm away from family, it's like F this, shit, ass, beep, beep, beep. Yeah.
As an Italian, I don't have a filter. I don't think. At least with family, I feel like I do have a filter. Like when you put on like your nice voice for people,
Right, family
especially
voice.
when you're like working retail
Ooh,
and stuff like
yeah.
that. It's like, hi, how can I help you?
Yeah.
What are we looking for?
Real quick,
What's the problem here?
but yeah, it's funny. I feel like me wanting to be on camera also has something to do with me wanting to overcome my voice. Because as someone who's been
okay.
self-conscious about his voice, like throughout his life, I feel like me going out there and like talking in front of like, or just showing people stuff that I was in and I voiced it, and like seeing no one really have an issue with it, or just seeing comments like not pointing out, it gives me a bit more confidence in talking.
Right. Yeah.
So hopefully, like, that persists. I really hope I don't run into that guy on YouTube if I ever post a video like, can you stop talking, please?
Hey, can you stop talking like that?
You stop.
The guy at the beginning is so annoying. I cannot stand his
Why
face at
I
all.
oughta.
Why I oughta fight you now?
Now, we've got...
Can't stand his voice.
Now, Dereck, to answer that question involving, do you feel like
Yeah.
you've done enough so far?
I do want to answer that, but before I do, I just kind of like go off of what Rex was saying earlier about how like his relation with like feel like he can be more expressive like in front of like a camera or a microphone, like just like that's like a good outlet for him. It kind of made me this is like something that's I guess like been in the back of my mind for like years, honestly. And it's like the relation between like a filmmaker and acting, because it seems like there's like a big like parallel between, because you see like a lot of filmmakers who like kind of like act in a lot of like their own productions. That seems like the like it's not like a definite, but like, it seems like a very like common trait like in this industry. But for me, it's like I feel like the complete opposite. Like I hate being in front of the camera so much. Like, I hate
This poor guy.
I hate like do like I like legit like freeze up. I like don't like to present myself in front of everything, but I love just being part of the creative process so much that like I just
Same.
like that's the reason why I'm here, just because I love this industry so much. But I would never want to act. I hate act, which is very ironic because I did do drama club in high school. Like I was in production and stuff.
What?
Really?
But
Oh my God.
I never did like main roles or anything. I was never a lead, but I
Yeah.
was always like ensemble and everything.
Oh,
But
okay.
I don't know. I think maybe with that, like maybe it's also just a kind of a different thing too, because when you're doing a live stage production, at least from my school, we didn't necessarily like. I maybe we did film, maybe we did. I don't know. I didn't keep track of that kind of stuff. But like it's like kind of like it's happening like in the moment. Whereas when you're filming something, it's like you're doing multiple takes. Like you're there in front of your whole like production crew and everyone. And it's like, to me, that's just like nerve wracking. I don't like that. It's like it doesn't make me comfortable. I hate acting so much. But I just thought that was like an interesting thing because I just feel there's a big correlation between that.
And it's also, to me, it's kind of funny that you say that about acting, because you're one of the most well-spoken people that I know of.
I
Yeah.
didn't think I was.
No, because you feel very balanced when you talk about anything. It's very
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. No.
You
yeah.
have like a very like deep, like very like chill demeanor when you talk.
Right.
Like you're not like me or Cade, where we're like very high pitched.
We're very animated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
we're, like,
nasally
very
and kind of
animated
like
people.
all
I mean,
over the
I-
place and disorganized. But you're
Yeah.
very organized in like
It's-
the order of things
Like
that you talk about.
It's funny. Like you and Rex are like the opposite of me and Cade. I
Yes.
feel.
Yeah.
Like Rex, I feel like Rex has like the look of an actor. Like he has the beautiful like
Oh yeah,
put down hair. It's,
my
like,
naturally
super
beautiful
clean.
locks and yeah,
He's got the
clean
the,
skin.
like
and, you know.
deeper, just like chill, like voice. It's like, hey guys.
I am
how's it
very
going?
relaxed. I can't help it. I'm very relaxed.
Wait, so am I alternate universe Cade and is Rex alternate universe Seb, or is it the other way around?
Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like that's
I don't
actually kind of
I
accurate.
feel like I want to be alternate universe Rex because I want to be related to Rex in some way.
Ah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's fair. Okay, all right. Yeah. I'll gladly accept you into the canon.
It's the canon.
Yeah. just to bring everything home, like we're 55 minutes in. I want.
Ooh, wow.
Do you guys want to keep going like another like 20 minutes or
That-
so? We could talk
yeah,
about stuff
no.
we've been watching.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't want
let's
to answer
keep
the other part of the question though.
Oh, yeah,
in
that's right,
regards
that's
to like the stuff we do here and like if I feel like it's enough. So the problem with me is that I feel like nothing is ever enough. Like that's I'm never gonna ever get over that. And for me, what stings more is like how I mentioned before. Like I've been here since 2019, and I mean, like I know like I can't just like be like black and white and like be too hard on myself because like so many things happen both in my personal life and in the world in the past 4 years.
Yes.
It's been insane.
So much.
And I didn't even come here as a CTM major. Like August 2019. Like if you asked me anything about like doing this, like I would probably say no. Like despite like being an interest of mine since I was very little, it's just like any like opportunity to like pursue this other thing, I always just like shut down growing up. I was just like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do something like more practical or whatever. And I feel like that like kind of held me back, especially like in the beginning. And then when I actually got here, and when I just started to be more confident in like pursuing this, when I took studio production in the spring of 2020, and like the week I officially declared CTM as my major, it was the week of like March 1st. I went home that weekend. And I get the text saying that we're going to be stuck at home for a while after this break. Then next week at the same text, like week after week, then campus closed indefinitely because of COVID. And like
That hurts. That hurts.
My next CTM classes were online in the fall of 2020. And they were that was the first class I had with Scott Tice. And that was
Tice.
Tice is like if Cody was a professor.
Yes.
he's
With
so
the
amazing.
bow tie and the
Yes.
glasses.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
god.
That was a very important class for me because it kind of helped me find like my own niche in the industry that like I want to work more with audio and sound mixing. That's like where I want to go into. So that was a very important class. But the problem was I was so dumb and hard on myself that semester that I actually dropped CTM. I don't know if you guys knew that. I dropped
Really?
CTM. I stopped taking CTM classes after that because I thought I wasn't like doing good enough despite like me, like I didn't like, and I'm so stupid. Like for the final project in Tice's class, I thought I did so bad that I didn't even listen to his feedback. I just changed my major. I went to business. I became a marketing major in the spring of 2021.
Wow.
And yeah, so I just like gave up on all of that. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And then like I was feeling like really demotivated with business during that semester. So around like it was like I think like April of like 21, like almost the end of the semester. And I was like, I'm gonna listen to what Scott Tice says for my feedback for that project. I just like never did. I was like, I'm just gonna put it. And then I like bawled my eyes out listening to that because like he like said that it was like one of the best projects that he like final projects he ever heard for his like CTM 50 class. And I just like kind of like maybe I made a mistake like changing my major again. And I decided to go back to CTM in the fall. And then that was like the true beginning of me like being in CTM was fall of 2021, which kind of sucked at that point because then the whole thing with like the classes and people having to take their own class that weren't able to.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm behind actually, because if I didn't change my major, I would probably like I would probably be doing my internship right now actually.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Right now,
Right.
But since I dropped the major in 2020 again,
Okay.
that set me back a bit. And then because of that, it's like no matter like how much I make and no matter how much like progress and how much I'm learning, like the past like year and a half, it's like kind of like in the back of my mind, it's like not feeling like I'm doing enough still. And like the clock ticking of like time running out, it's just like, it's a lot, but it's me learning just to not pay attention to that and just do the most that I can right now and like put my all into every project that we do for every class that we have right now. So I think everything has been really great the past like 2 semesters. It's just been like really fantastic, and I feel like I've been making a lot of good projects, and I'm really satisfied with what I've made. So yeah.
It's always good to like be proud of what you made.
I agree.
I
So
feel-
Star Wars, eh?
Oh boy.
I actually haven't watched much like Star Wars anything recently.
Oh yeah, because
honestly.
do you still have Disney?
I just
Plus?
got it back a few days ago.
okay.
Yeah.
I've had Disney Plus ever since it launched.
Do you guys want to talk about how Disney was raising ticket prices? They're pushing it.
Well, I
Really.
don't
pushing
know
it.
if they are anymore.
Yeah,
but
they're not anymore. Because Bob Iger's back.
yeah, because when
I forgot that happened.
It started last May when Multiverse of Madness came out. They
Yes.
I don't know if it was at Regal, but at AMC it was upcharged by $1. So if a ticket was like $16 before, it'll be $17 just for Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
And they did it again for Love and Thunder. They did it again for. It wasn't a Marvel movie. It was another Disney movie after that. I don't remember.
Strange World.
No, not Strange World. No, it was before that.
Oh god damn.
I don't remember what movie. But then for Avatar, they didn't raise it for Avatar. Avatar
Okay.
was just normal price.
Because that was a Fox movie, not
Yeah.
like Disney.
Yeah. So yeah, for those two movies in 2022, they raised the price by $1. I don't think they're. I didn't check what the Ant-Man prices are, but I'm pretty sure Ant-Man are not going to do it again just because of the controversy last year. But
Right.
yeah, that was annoying.
Controversy. Wait, what happened
No
last
Way
year?
Home, maybe?
Well, because they raised the prices and people were mad about it.
that's-
So
okay, right.
It's maybe No Way Home.
no, because that was Sony, and Sony would be in
okay.
charge of distribution for that, not
Gotcha,
Disney.
gotcha.
So I don't. Maybe there wasn't, but I feel like there was like a third movie that was like non-Marvel that came out that they charged extra for.
So I don't know. I haven't caught up with Disney.
Yeah, no.
Like movie wise, it's either stuff I don't care about, or it's remakes, or it's Marvel, and that's it. That's all they're doing for movies.
It
now.
might have been Lightyear. I think
It might have been Lightyear.
And that movie tanked like really hard. So.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that this is like the era of DreamWorks finally like fighting back. Like they are making like big.
I still need to
quality
watch
movies.
Puss in Boots.
I
I
still need to
still
watch
need to
Puss in
watch it.
Boots.
I have not seen that.
I've seen it. I thought it was good, but I do need to rewatch it because when I saw it, I had to use the bathroom really bad.
Oh,
No.
But I didn't want to miss any of the
Oh,
movies. So like,
no.
I feel that kind of like lowered my enjoyment of it. But like, I have to rewatch it and use the bathroom before and have a more like concrete opinion on it.
Right.
I didn't know John Mulaney was in that movie until I heard.
I didn't know he was in until I watched
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I didn't know he was in it until I saw a clip of like two characters, and it was like his character in Puss in Boots. I'm pretty sure it was like Steven Universe, probably. It's like these two characters should interact, and like Steven's doing a song, and all I hear from John Mulaney was, "That was weird," and then he shoots him with like a stab.
Hey, you want to see something cool?
Oh yeah, that's also now a meme of just
Um,
Puss in Boots there.
But in terms of things I watched for my masterpiece in film course, I watched the 1926 movie The General.
Oh, with Buster Keaton.
My God, Buster Keaton needs to chill out.
He was a real trooper, man.
I'm just imagining just the pitch meeting for that movie. So this is a movie I'm gonna write, direct, and star in.
Mm-hmm.
And do all my own stunts.
All my own stunts. That's Buster
All
Keaton's
my
whole
own
thing.
gags.
He does like 99% of his stunts. Yeah, and it's gonna be on a train.
Oh yeah.
How
All gonna
the
take place
hell
with the train.
did they
Bullet
film
train.
on a train in 1926? And like, it's so impressive watching it, not only for the stunts, which are absolutely incredible, especially for the time. Like that scene
Yeah.
where, if you guys know what I'm talking about, where he has like the giant board of wood. I just punched the mic with the
Oh, no.
giant board of wood, and he has to stop the train from derailing. So he literally
Right.
just throws a board of wood onto another board of wood. Maybe in like editing, I'll probably put the clip in, but he just does that, and it's like, oh my God, he had one take to do that, or he's like messing up the entire.
And it's so
Train.
tight too. When you see it and it's all one take, it's so tight how I guess it's choreography, right? You gotta plan that
you
out.
see him
You gotta
in
plan
it, like
that out.
moving out of the way for the board.
Right,
Like he
yeah.
backs up. He could have hit himself in the head, and like something bad would have happened.
Oh yeah.
Buster Keaton, this was said in like Stuntman React. This is how I first found out the movie. He is literally like a
Okay.
D&D character with his agility on fire. He's doing
is,
so
yeah.
much.
He rolled a nat 20 for that performance check.
Absolutely, man. And like, it's just such a fun movie, and it like you understand exactly like the entire story just with like a lot of few. There are barely any dialogue like boxes because it's a silent movie. Like
Right.
so they talk and they have the text things. That's not there often, and when there is, it's just like we gotta do this just real quick. A lot of arguments in the movie they don't really cut to anything because like you already know the gist. They don't cut to like a text block showing what's happening or anything, and when they do, it's like very impactful, like at the beginning and the end of the movie, where it's like, what's your occupation? I'm a soldier, and like that's really great.
It's crucial to understand what's happening for the movie. And
Another
then that's
thing,
it.
yeah, another thing with Buster Keaton which makes the movie way funnier Buster Keaton is infamous for never smiling.
Yes.
So, like,
Stone-faced
at all, like, it is
the whole way
very
through.
hard to find a picture, or, like, let alone, like, footage of him, like, smirking or anything. It's always just, like, just dead expression. He just has, like, indifference throughout everything. So, there's a scene where, like, something, I think, blows up behind him, or he thinks, like, I can't remember the circumstances, but something, like, bad happens. I think, like, a train, like, blows up behind him, and he's just like, did you see that? What was that? And, like, he just has, like, so much indifference, and, like, the slightest, like, eye squint is all you need, and it just shows, like, what was that?
And he's
like,
so great with his eyes too.
he's
Just
amazing with his
yeah.
eyes, dude.
Very expressive.
I can't wait to see the biopic that they're making of him
They're
with
doing that?
Rami Malek, actually.
Oh.
I didn't know
They're
that.
getting
That's
Rami Malek to do
that's
it.
gonna be 2 movies now where he's done a biopic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury meets Buster Keaton.
You know
Buster
who-
Keaton, yeah.
Do you know who I think looks like Buster Keaton?
Who?
I feel so bad for getting his name. The main actor from The Bear.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a show I watched over like summer break.
Cade recommended me The
Oh,
Bear.
it's
and
so good.
Yeah.
I
It's
watched
on
It's on
Hulu.
HBO. Oh,
It's on
Hulu.
Hulu.
It's on Hulu, okay.
it. Is, to sum it up, the most concise way I could sum it up, it is Uncut Gems, but in a kitchen.
Oh.
I saw a clip of it because
Wait,
it's
so
been
why is it
nominated for
called
a
The
few
Bear?
Emmys, right?
Because that's what the place is called. Is the Bear.
The Bear.
Oh, okay. I remember the
Also
trailer
takes place
now.
in
Okay.
Chicago.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
It's
but
like it's like a sandwich place.
it is
Yeah,
pretty
that's
much
right.
takes place in a kitchen, and it's your typical kitchen experience. You get like this one guy who's been to like super fancy restaurants. He's been like a very like star chef. His name's Cameron, and he is taking over his brother's business, and it is just a giant panic attack like every single episode.
Oh, boy.
The best way to sum up The Bear is the most stressful comma dramedy I've ever seen. It's so like just not only stressful, like catching nightmares, like kitchen stressful, but like that plus Cameron's stress is so. It's also so well done. I only have 2 gripes with the entire show. Like it's a near perfect show, but these 2 things bring it down to that level where it's near perfect. One of them being the special effects. Granted, it's the first season, so they probably have a lower
Yeah,
budget.
okay,
There's
yeah.
literally a scene where he's like having a dream sequence and like there's flames and it looks so fake.
Oh, that's
It
sad.
looks like such fake flames
That's
and like
sad.
it's sad, but yeah. But besides that, dude, his monologue in the last episode of that season is literally what made him win the Golden Globe.
Good.
You can't
Wow.
convince me otherwise.
Good.
That's
Okay.
literally one of the most like emotional and impactful like performances I've seen in a long time. Like a really long time.
Honestly, just like if you have Hulu, if anything,
I
It's
do.
only like
The-
8 episodes too, right?
I think season 2 is gonna start soon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But binge it. It is really good. Another show I watched recently is Reservation Dogs. That is just very wholesome.
I've been wanting to watch
ragtag.
I
that.
saw the first few episodes of that. I liked it. Yeah.
As
I've been
with
watching.
for someone who is completely like oblivious or just like I don't know much about Native American culture, especially like these days. Really fun to watch, especially with like just like they're modern. They're like modern like Native Americans or just like culture. It takes place on a reservation, as the name is. It takes place in Oklahoma, I believe. And it's just like I just love it's a small town setting on a boring like you know how in Napoleon Dynamite they film it to be like this is the best that they could do. Like they film it to look like very boring and mundane.
Yeah, it looks
It-
pretty simple.
And it's just about like the people just making the best of where they are. They don't use the location to make it interesting. They have the people and just like it just has 4 friends. Chemistry's great for the most part. Like everyone, like it's just them bringing life and just the characters. My favorite character is the police officer. I think his name is Big, if I'm not mistaken. I feel really bad if I butchered that
Big
because he's my favorite
officer.
character. The police officer. If you ever get to him, he's great. I'm probably gonna look it up and just correct myself and call myself an idiot in post. But yeah,
Idiot! It was Professor Small.
yes.
It was Professor Oak.
But aside from that, like I saw The Whale with you guys. If you guys want to talk about that, give you guys like your own soapbox. Whoever wants to go first, the stuff they watched recently.
I'm trying to think of what I've watched
Me
recently, because I'm notorious for not watching things that are popular like in the moment. Like I remember last year and a half ago, everyone was talking about Squid Game on Netflix or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And then I just never did, because I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure I really want to check it out yet.
Right.
Because it's popular. I don't know
that's
why.
literally the reason why I didn't want to watch it, was because everyone was like, oh, watch Squid Game. It's the best.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's so good. It's so good. It's like, I'm not going to watch it now.
Yeah, it's like you're hyping it up so much that now we're back all the way around to zero, where I'm not actually interested.
Yeah, I'm not interested. It's the same how I felt with the new season of Stranger Things. Like, everyone's telling me, like, oh,
that's why I haven't seen the show, period.
Oh, well, the first season's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then it kind of, in my opinion, it kind of goes downhill.
And then that demotivates me from watching it. Because if it gets worse, then what's the point? Like, I don't think I'm gonna watch Stranger Things on.
To be fair, I've seen all seasons so far, and liking the popular show. Wow. Season 1's great. Season 2 has great moments and is the beginning of a lot of cool stuff in the show. But there is one specific episode that derails it and ruins all the momentum in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Third season, I loved because of the aesthetic that they're going for. The story kind of takes a bit of a hit, but it goes for more of a summer blockbuster approach, which was the intention of the directors. And I think it's just the most fun to watch. Season 4, this has probably been the best since season 1.
Really?
It goes back to the horror elements. It goes back to the drab and colorless period of season 1. It ties it all into a neat bow. It's structured really well, in my opinion. You meet a lot of nice great characters. You see ensembles of people, and it's just fun. They just brought it back to what made it great, and it really intensifies the horror elements. And it doesn't really pander that much to the 80s, I don't think. It just, makes it more just about the characters and, the journeys. It's great, in my opinion. I really hope they can stick the landing with Season 5. I doubt that they will, but...
Is 5 supposed to be the last one, or are they making
it? It is. Thankfully, it is going to be the last one.
Thankfully.
My only intrigue for watching it, and this kind of goes for any TV show, just because I always think back to what happened with me and The Legend of Korra. Because a lot of people did not like the later seasons, but I love the whole thing.
Yes, those last 2 seasons of Korra are pretty good, in my opinion.
I like the whole thing, and because I stayed away from any other opinions of the show and just watched it for what it is, my own version. I like the whole thing. I didn't think it went up or down or anything. I consistently liked the whole thing.
Okay, so I did a year ago. I did rewatch Avatar and Korra, and obviously Avatar. It's so much better than Korra.
Oh yeah,
but it's not fair to compare that with Korra because there's nothing much that's gonna beat Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's one of the best animated shows ever. But rewatching Korra, I was like, okay. The first 2 episodes, I was like, all right, yeah, I remember liking this show. And then it hit me with the 3rd episode and hit me with the love triangle shit, and I'm just like, oh, I remember why I don't like it as much. and then they completely move away from that after the 5th episode, and then go focus back on the main threat, which is Amon. Amon's great, by the way, as a villain.
Stephen Bloom.
Yeah. I forgot that was Stephen Bloom. Yeah. He's great as the main villain, and then season 2 just takes a full nosedive for me halfway through, because I like the idea of both water tribes having a civil war with one another. That sounds super dope. And then the whole Dark Spirits thing happened. I'm like, I'm done with this.
I talked to Dereck about season 2, and it's just you have this Lyra reveal that is just we know how this is going to turn out.
Yeah.
Korra, why are you behaving this way?
Yeah.
And then they added the drama between Korra and Mako, yeah. And that was kind of a bummer because I did like their chemistry.
What's the point? I disagree on that one, by the way. Well,
I
like,
guess that's fair.
what's the point of setting?
It should have
up-
been Bolin.
Yes, it
Yeah,
should have been
yes,
Bolin.
it should've been
That's why I
Bolin.
hate that third episode because they show that the two of them have much better chemistry.
That is true.
It just shows that they're perfect for each other. But no, it's just like no, she likes Mako just because for drama, and it's like, but at the point by the end of the second season, Mako and Korra just break up, and it's just like, well, then what's the point of the whole first season then? If that
Yeah.
Well, I just started to end it. Like, why?
why did you just do that then? Why was the point? What was the point of the first season? And then season 3 came out, and that first episode of season 3 hooked me instantly back into the show because it introduced Zaire as like just this guy,
the pickpocket, right? Oh no, the villain.
the villain.
Who was the pickpocket kid? I really liked him.
Oh, that was Kai.
I think
yeah.
so.
Kai, yeah. It's been a while since I've seen the show. But
Season 3 was on to a
season
great start.
3, Zaire was literally as soon as I saw him break out of prison, just because all of a sudden he is now an airbender. All of a sudden that just happens. I'm like, all right, I'm in. What's going on here? And then season 4, Kuvira was pretty good, but you can't really fault it for that because at that point Nickelodeon was like trying to push the show to end, and there's like it's clear they wanted to tell more of the show. Is the thing like at that point your show's starting to pick back up, so like why are you trying to push it so that only people that watch it on the Nickelodeon site can see it? But good thing Netflix, even though I don't have it anymore, good thing Netflix just decided to have all 4 seasons, and it's like the second time I've ever watched season 4, and it was pretty good.
That actually just reminded me of you saying that like you don't have Netflix anymore. For most of last year I didn't have Netflix, so like all like the big stuff that people were talking about last year I did not like watch.
I just recently
like
got rid of it, though.
the last thing I watched before I got rid of it I think was Squid Game, which I did enjoy. I did like Squid Game, but after that I got rid of it. So like everything everyone was talking about I didn't watch. And I know like at the end of the fall TV season, Wednesday got really big.
Yeah.
And I didn't
watch that. My girlfriend watched it.
I
She
gave
loved
up. I gave up. I didn't like it. I mean, also me, I'm not a big fan of Tim Burton, so that
Really?
that might be a
Really?
thing.
He's a huge fan.
I don't.
I'm a
You
big
like
fan.
the Batman
I don't.
movies,
I'm
at
a
least.
big
I do like the
Tim-
Batman
the-
movies. I like Tim Burton's films.
I like his aesthetic.
art style he's going with, like in the modern age, I feel like it's getting like kind of tired now.
I like his
Yeah.
80s and 90s aesthetic. I don't know.
My
Maybe
favorite
not
movie
so
of
much
his is
his
Corpse
modern.
Bride.
I was about to say, didn't he
I
do
just
Corpse
love.
Bride?
I love Corpse
Yeah,
Bride a
he did.
lot.
The only 3 I like from him are Corpse Bride, Edward Scissorhands, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Really?
Everything-
Really?
like,
Yeah,
Charlie
he's a
and
big,
Chocolate-
he's a
I
big
love-
Charlie and the
I
Chocolate
love Charlie and
Factory
Chocolate.
fan. Yes.
Better
That's-
than, okay, do you like it better than Willy Wonka? And the
I've
Chocolate Factory?
talked to Rex about
He
this.
has many times.
I love both of those so much. I love the Gene Wilder version, but I also love the Johnny Depp one. Like I love both movies.
Okay.
Like so it's hard for me. And like I love the Gene Wilder one like more and more like every time I watch it. But like,
Yeah.
I have like more of a nostalgia bias for the Depp one because I did
Yeah,
like
that's
I
fair.
I did grow up watching the Gene Wilder version, but not as much as the Johnny Depp one. So I
Yes.
have more nostalgia for that one. And it kind of edges it like very slightly, but like just judging them more fair, like I love both like
Right.
so much. Like they're both really great movies, and it's like hard for me to like pick between them because they're so good.
Did you know how Gene Wilder got that role as Willy Wonka?
I feel like I've heard it before. It's been I'm
So-
rusty with the history of that movie.
So they approached him about the role playing Willy Wonka, and he had only one like stipulation that he wanted to have in the film. He said in his very first scene when he's walking out of the factory, he wants to have a limp and then stop and do a somersault to be a showman. And they asked him like, why do you want to do that? It's like, because then you never know if Wonka's ever telling the truth. And that just sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Gene
to
Wilder.
me.
Oh sorry, I don't want, you can go
I
ahead.
love Gene Wilder
He's
as a
great.
person.
He's a different breed.
Yeah.
He's great in
Different
Blazing
breed of
Saddles.
performer.
He's just
Yes.
I need to
He's
watch.
so funny
I
in
need
that
to
movie.
watch him in Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles.
Oh,
Young
actually,
Frankenstein
this-
is so amazing.
This might be a very hot take, especially for you,
What's
Rex.
up?
I'm sorry. So I've been watching movies like during my like Friday night shifts at the Imaginarium, and I was just finishing because I was rewatching Wakanda Forever, and then I had a bit of extra time. So I'm gonna put on a different movie on like HBO or something. And I was like, oh, they have Young Frankenstein on here, so I started watching Young Frankenstein, and I'm not into it so far. I had to leave because my shift
Really?
was I'm not.
Wow.
See,
It's
that's no.
I'm not into it so
Wow.
far.
See, that's fair because the
Yeah.
first time I watched Young Frankenstein, I was like, okay, yeah, it's pretty funny. I'm not like too
Yeah.
like. It took me a bit
Really?
to like get me
Oh.
into it. It took me like at least like 30 minutes to get me into the movie.
Hmm.
But like by the end of the movie, I was like, all right, yeah, this is pretty good. This is
Yeah.
pretty funny. Blazing Saddles, on the other hand, I was hooked instantly.
I still need to see Blazing
I got
Saddles.
about
still need it.
30 minutes in and then stopped, unfortunately, but I really want to give it another
Rex,
watch.
do you remember the bit of him just like talking about his Gene Wall talking about his character and like how his legend's like, look at my hand, stays narrow. Yeah, but I shoot with this one.
Yeah, I remember that. But I think that's funny though, because I feel sort of
The opposite?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
when
that's
I
fair.
saw Young Frankenstein, I didn't even see Frankenstein before that
Mm-hmm.
because I
Yeah.
saw Young Frankenstein and I loved the whole movie. And then just I think about a year ago, me and a couple of friends, we watched Blazing Saddles together as like a movie night thing.
Right.
And it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, for me, it wasn't as funny as Young Frankenstein. So that's that. And also I know you, Dereck. I showed you the 1931
Yeah, and
Frankenstein
I really like the
with
original.
Boris
Like
Karloff.
I really like that movie.
And then
But-
and then we saw
Bride.
yeah, which I really do not like.
I like
Really?
Bride.
I
a lot.
really hate
Yeah.
Bride.
Do you
so
just
much.
because a bride just shows up like
Well,
for
no,
10 minutes?
well, yeah, because one, she's barely in the movie, but and two, the tone of the film is so like off-ball, goofy, and it's
I
like
wouldn't
totally
really,
different
I wouldn't
than
really say
the
that.
first
I
one.
feel
No,
like
I
it
agree,
felt
but that's why I
so-
love it.
It
But
felt so not consistent with the first
It
movie.
just-
But I
and
feel like-
just-
happened.
I feel like
yeah, exactly.
I feel like the point with the second one though was to humanize Frankenstein a lot more and show like he is capable of like being empathetic and just like
Well,
having
yeah, but
fun
they,
and
they
like
could
being
have
human.
done that with a more serious
Um,
tone, though.
Frankenstein or Frankenstein's monster?
Frankenstein's monster. I
You mean
meant
the
to say.
creature?
The creature,
Okay.
Boris Karloff in makeup.
What's interesting though is
Good.
that, like when we saw Bride of Frankenstein, like I didn't know like what people like. I didn't know like what the legacy of this movie was at all, and
Right.
Frankenstein?
I assume Bride of Frankenstein. Like Frankenstein, I didn't like that was like that's like
Oh,
a classic
Young
movie. Like,
Frankenstein?
Bride of Frankenstein. I didn't know,
Bride
know-
Frankenstein.
I didn't know what people really thought of it much, and then
Right.
I just listened up like probably most people think like how Rex felt like just like a very like, totally inconsistent movie, but like then I found out like it's like one of the most like acclaimed films of all time. It's in the National Film Registry. Like people love that movie,
Really?
and like it kind of made me feel a bit more validated in my because I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Like
Good.
it was a cool.
And then
cool
I feel like the weird one because I'm like, did y'all not see the same movie I watched? Like what?
I have
What?
something similar.
Okay.
That's me towards Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
I don't like it. I don't like Rocky Horror Picture Show because the only redeeming quality of the entire movie is Tim Curry.
Not Meatloaf?
No,
What?
not Meatloaf.
What? Not
Meatloaf?
Meatloaf?
The
No.
best song in that movie. I will fight anyone who opposes.
It's Time Warp. That's the best song.
No, I like Perpetuity a lot.
No.
Okay, I won't fight people on it, but I do like the
Time
soundtrack's
Warp
great.
is the best song, and it's the only song because it's the only song I somewhat tolerate. The rest of them, I'm just like, I don't.
I just like the
Wow.
legacy of just
yeah.
like
I
because-
get the legacy. I get it's like people love it. I get it. I don't have any like ill will towards people that like the movie at all. It's just me personally. I don't like it because it's just so batshit insane.
That's kind of why I like it though.
I
No,
get that,
but, like,
no, I get
that's-
why people like it. I get that's why people like it. For me personally,
Okay. All right.
I have to have a story I can actually follow
Okay.
to actually like
Alright.
it.
I
Case
think-
in point, recently I watched Banshees.
Mm.
The
Colin Farrell?
Colin,
Yes.
Colin,
Yes.
Avini
Colin
That movie's
Farrell
so-
and Brendan Gleeson.
Yes.
It's so tightly written.
Yes.
It's so well done.
It's winning best writing at the Oscars. Like
it better.
no contest. It's
it
winning
better.
best
Colin
writing.
Farrell
It's,
better win for best supporting actor because that's just insane, that performance. But like I watched that recently, and then like a couple months ago, before I watched that, I watched Glass Onion, also really good. And then in between those two movies, my brother and I just decided, oh, let's watch these two random movies. We watched Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Really good movie, really good Western.
I started that.
I like it a lot. It's not as good as like The Searchers or 310 to Yuma. Like I like those as my two favorites. but it's pretty good. And then after that, we watched Grand Budapest Hotel for the very first time.
Oh, the
And
first time. Okay.
For the first time, holy shit, was it funny.
I need to see
The
it.
best-
I have it on Blu-ray.
There's a-
It's so funny
Please give that to me.
and heartwarming, but really.
And
funny.
I was shocked on how many people were in that movie. Like, I was shocked
There's
to
a
see
lot.
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, in
I was
all
shocked
in
to
black.
see- yeah, in all in black. And I was-
Skiing.
yeah. That scene where at the end of the skiing thing, where he fucking pushes Willem Dafoe, and literally, Ray Fiennes was like, "Holy shit, you got him!"
Oh man.
that was so good.
I need to rewatch that movie.
It's so
Maybe we'll-
funny.
I don't want to like stray off the track too much because I don't know like how much time we're already at.
Oh
An
my
hour 37.
Yeah, because you mentioned Budapest, and that's a Wes Anderson film. I don't know if have any of you seen French Dispatch, his last movie.
No, I
No.
was
I
gonna
really
see
wanna
it,
watch
but
it.
I
I
didn't.
saw
really
it and
wanna watch it.
I didn't like it. I don't
Really?
know why. I was
I've
like,
heard
I would-
people didn't.
I have
like
no
it. I've heard
opinion.
No, I've heard everyone loves it.
Really?
That
Oh, I
made me
didn't-
feel weird
I
because like I was really excited for it, and I was like, I can't get into this one. Like it's the most like Wes Anderson you can get.
Oh,
I
boy.
think sometimes
Everything's symmetrical.
sometimes too much of something isn't good.
Yeah,
and
no, I
I
get that.
think it
Let's-
really overindulges in itself.
Let's
Oh.
hope Ollie never hears this
I-
podcast because he loves
Yeah,
Wes
he
Anderson
does.
movies.
I
He
think
does,
Budapest Hotel and Fantastic Mr. Fox, like for me, those two are
That's
like
a
that's
good
the
movie.
perfect.
Yeah.
That's a really good movie. Yeah,
That's the
I still
perfect
wanna
Wes
watch
Anderson
the one
movie.
with Bill Murray in the submarine. I can't remember.
Oh
Life
yeah,
Aquatic.
Life Aquatic.
Yeah.
with
I really want to watch that one
with
too.
Same.
Cornelius Vanderbilt. What's the Life Aquatic? Something.
I just call it
something.
the Life Aquatic.
Joey's gonna be
Submarine.
like, you should know this.
He's gonna be so mad.
Steve Zissou.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like
I mean-
that. Yeah.
Have any of you seen Elvis?
The new
No,
one, the Baz
I
Luhrmann
did
one.
not.
Yeah.
I surprisingly liked it because I don't like Baz Luhrmann.
See,
What
Oh,
else did he
that's
do?
interesting.
Great Gatsby, one of my least favorite movies of all time.
Yeah,
That's
no,
fair.
I'm
Yeah.
not a fan of that movie.
So I didn't watch it. I walked downstairs into the living room to see my mother watching it,
oh.
and I watched a little bit of it, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is pretty good. Like I still don't get the context of the whole thing. And like I went to go do something else, and I came back, the movie was over, and my mother was like, you need to watch this as a CTM major. You have to watch this. If you're like going into films, you gotta watch this. And part of me is like,
I don't think you need to watch it, but it's pretty good. I thought it was well
yeah,
made.
I get that.
And that was
It's
coming
all
from
right.
me. I thought it was good and it was well made. So
Yeah. But like I did that with Elvis and also Black Adam. I just
Oh.
walked downstairs and my mother was just watching Black Adam. I'm like, why are you watching this? Like, I wanted to watch. It's like, you know this isn't gonna be canon anymore. Like James Gunn is gonna axe all this like before all the movies that were and shows that were announced by James Gunn. I texted Seb about this whole thing. It's like I already think that's gonna be a dumpster fire.
I disagree.
I don't
listen,
have confidence
listen,
in it
I
unless
do.
the first movie like hits it out of the park like they did with Iron Man with Marvel. I'm not gonna be convinced.
I think it will.
I
have so much confidence in this.
The thing about it is James Gunn and like his team, they're focusing on characters that they are very invested in, like writing wise and just lore wise.
Yeah.
So in all honesty, I think these aren't going to be really critical successes, but I feel like, I mean box office successes,
Oh,
but I
box
do
office,
think that
yeah.
they're going to be critical successes.
Yes.
So I think these are going to be really solid products.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to build a fan base. Maybe they will. Maybe we want something new and just something that's like a bit more different in the superhero status quo. Like we want to see like more lesser known characters because we've already seen like the best of the best in terms of superhero movies like so far. Broadly speaking,
just-
for like Avengers, like general audiences
Yeah.
has already seen like how like big superhero movies can be. So let's see something
Yeah.
like that's more in the backseat. Let's see something that's maybe a different type of superhero movie, like a more what was the first couple of ones that they're doing? Do you remember?
For James Gunn?
Yeah.
Well, in terms of
One of them
movies,
is Supergirl, right?
yeah, Supergirl, like something of tomorrow is gonna be like but the one that I'm the most excited, and I've been like even before this whole like James Gunn thing, is Superman Legacy, because I have been craving a new Superman movie for years, and one that's not like Zack Snyder.
I'm
Like,
so disappointed Henry Cavill didn't get a good
yeah,
script. Because he's a good Superman.
he is.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
He fits
but
the bill. He
It's
really
such a
does.
shame. They like DC took a diamond and they just crushed it
Yeah.
and ruined it.
like
Crushed
for the
it to
past few
dust.
years, I've had this like I had this envision in my mind where like we get a new Superman movie that it's like take the energy of the 90s animated series.
Yeah.
The what's his name? I can't think of his name.
Christopher Reeves.
What's his?
Yeah, Christopher Reeves.
Oh, yeah.
And then like Matthew Vaughn with X-Men First Class. Take
Oh,
that all,
yeah.
mesh it together, and
Yeah.
that's your new Superman movie. And I really want that so bad. And
I'm telling you, if they hit it out of the park first movie, then I'm convinced.
that's why I'm happy that's like James Gunn's priority, because I was so like depressed in like the past few years when it's like WB wants nothing to do with Superman because of Zack Snyder. It's like I want like I don't care if they reboot everything. I just like want a new Superman movie that's like that breathes life into his friend, because I'm tired of people saying that Superman's ass when he's like it's only because the adaptations of him recently have not been that good.
Yeah.
But if you just adapt it really good and get people on board and like make a very like and I feel like using this term gets a bad rap, but if you make like a good crowd pleasing movie, like I want to see the response that something like Top Gun Maverick has to a Superman movie, both critically and financially. Like if we see that would be insane.
That would be a huge thing.
Like something that like everybody likes. It doesn't matter like what your age, like everyone just agree that they love this movie. Like I want that for Superman so bad.
Now, for this one, the one I am most excited for, because I think I need to look into it if James Gunn, how much involvement he's going to have with the production. The Booster Gold series.
Yes.
That is perfect for James Gunn, I feel. Because you already have this character who is made to be the joke of DC. He is a hero who thinks he is the greatest. He literally is the one who's piecing the timeline of DC together in the comics. But no one knows who he is. He markets himself. He is a corporate shill of a superhero. I feel like this would be great to... This would kind of be like what The Boys are doing, but I think this would be a perfect parody of like a superhero. Maybe in a different light of just like him doing consumerism, but he enjoys doing it. Like in The Boys, they hate being a consumer or like a product. This character thrives on being one.
It's basically The Boys, but funny.
Yeah. So I'm mostly excited for that. I feel like James Gunn is gonna like handle this very well, and I really like the Peacemaker series. I know like people have some mixed responses, but I enjoyed it.
I've heard good things
I just
about
find
that
it
show.
funny. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I find it funny how the only thing to still exist from the DCEU was Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad. Two James Gunn's involved projects. Those are the only thing that survived.
Well, wasn't it said that it wasn't in the video that he made, but like outside of it, I think Jason Momoa said that Aquaman 3 is still like possible. Like they could still do that.
Oh.
Well, that makes
And Shazam 3. Like Shazam and Aquaman are apparently like saved.
Shazam. But I really hope, because Zachary Levi's a great Shazam. I like him a lot as Shazam. I am another thing that I'm like more hesitant about this whole thing is that he's axing projects that are coming out. Like Blue Beetle, I really want to see.
No,
that's still coming out?
Yeah, it's still
Thank
coming
God.
out.
I want to see that movie so
August
badly.
6th,
I love that actor so much from Cobra Kai. I want to see him in more things.
I haven't seen anything. I've only seen the set photo of the suit, and I want to watch this movie so badly because it looks so good.
I really hope they do the Iron Man 1 thing where they actually build both props. They know how to light it properly.
Yes.
I just want like practical suits to be used.
I want to see that. I'm also very disappointed still that they just completely axed Batgirl. Like it was a near complete movie, and they just decided not to do it.
Well,
that was more Dave Zaslav though.
Just release it on HBO Max.
Yeah, if you have it.
You have it. It's almost done. Put it as an HBO Max original. It doesn't have. It could be in.
Oh, it was supposed to be anyway.
Oh.
Then why stop it?
Yeah, what the hell?
Because Dave Zaslav said there's no money.
Oh.
They made us.
But you'll make Velma. Okay.
Last fall,
Yeah,
they made a
right.
statement that they only
Some
had
logic
enough
there.
money to release 2 more movies in 2022, and that was Black Adam and Don't Worry, Darling, and both of them bombed.
Yeah.
So they have like no money.
You had a movie that already going in, The Rock may be passionate about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Good for him.
Yeah.
He is listen, I love Shazam, but looking at this like from outside, this is a movie about a D-list villain to a kind of a B-tier hero. Okay,
Well,
Black Adam isn't D-tier, but
I want to have the reverse of those two ratings because I think Black Adam is a very interesting villain,
yes.
but a very bad hero.
Yeah, but it's like, don't base a movie off of that.
Yes.
Like, Shazam, popular, like, very good. Like, I really like Shazam a lot. But I just don't feel like his star power is enough to make, like, for what they were expecting to get out of this movie, I don't think it was ever on the cards.
They had Dr. Fate in it. Literally one of my favorite characters in DC. Besides Batman, of course, because I love Batman.
This should have been more simple, and like they're trying to bring in like the Justice League, like West Coast, like Hawkman, Dr. Fate.
Which also, Hawkgirl was like part of the original Justice League in the Justice League cartoon. Why are you like
Hawkgirl would have been amazing.
Yeah, why are you sidelining with Hawkman? And like he showed up later in the Justice League cartoon. Why is he the first person out of the two to come into like live action? That makes no sense to me.
Something we don't understand.
Atom Smasher. Why? He doesn't talk in the shows. He's never talked. Why is he talking in this movie? And then you bring in a whole new character.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Well, anyway, I feel like we said enough so far. We're at like an hour and 47 minutes.
Wow.
Should we? Anything else you guys want to say before we
You guys
wrap
want to
up?
make it to 2 hours, or
We could make it in 2 hours. I have more I could talk about.
I have plenty more I could talk about.
What do you want to say, Rex? We'll bring it to 2. I'll signal you guys,
sure?
I guess.
Sure. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just want to make sure my
What
cameras
time are
don't
we
die
at?
on me.
Like 140 something.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And it's okay.
As long as I'm out by 6:30.
Let me just make sure mine.
Yeah, we got an hour. We're good on
Okay.
that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're good.
all right.
So quick thing, I've been as stuff we've been recently watching. I've been recently like catching up with the Bad Batch.
Oh, okay.
I'm fully caught up with it.
Right.
I just want to say right now that last week's episode, like they went a whole Indiana Jones route with the whole episode.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like,
that was
oh,
the
so
point.
now
But
it's
Like I didn't like that episode.
no.
Like, almost at
I
all.
really am not a
the
big
one-
fan of Wanda Sykes' character. I'm not a fan of
No,
her character.
because it's just Wanda Sykes in Star Wars.
Yeah, no.
That's all it is. If you just take out her voice and have someone else, then you can have an actual character. But since you have that iconic voice, everyone's gonna remember her as Wanda Sykes in Star Wars.
Yeah.
But,
I don't think I'm gonna watch this season. Like I watched the premiere before I got rid of Disney Plus, and I wasn't hooked on the season so far. So
watch the third episode of the second season because that's a Crosshair episode.
Okay.
And it's really good.
all right.
But like the next one after that, I'm pretty sure is the Indiana Jones one, and then the most recent one, I like it a lot actually because it's with the Wookiees.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It's a cat over there.
It's a cat. Oh.
Yeah, there's a cat in the backpack.
Off screen, there's just a student that had a
it's
cat
stuff
in their backpack. I just saw the
Oh.
pod. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, a
But
cat
yeah,
pack.
this most recent episode had like the Wookiees in it, and it talks about
Oh,
how
yeah.
what the Empire did to Kashyyyk
Right.
after Order 66, and it's very
Okay.
interesting. I like
Okay,
it a
actually,
lot.
that actually sounds interesting. I do want to watch that. Okay.
It's very interesting.
I'm coming back in. All right.
All right.
Pulled me back in.
Just when I thought I was getting out, they pulled me back in.
That movie's terrible. By the way.
Godfather 3.
Godfather 3 is terrible.
I've only seen the first one.
The first two are great, but then the third one's terrible.
I have not seen any of the Godfather movies.
I watched the
That's-
first one. I feel like it's as a CTM major. I feel like Joy's gonna like throw up in his mouth if he's still listening to this. I just thought it was too slow for me.
What are you, Peter
are
Griffin?
wrong.
Yeah, couldn't get
Griffin,
into it.
I'm surprised I actually enjoyed it as much as I saw it in theaters because there was a new 4K remaster last year.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought it was really good. Like,
Maybe I'll give it a second chance because like I felt like
At least watch the second one.
yeah.
I still haven't watched the second one yet. It's been
The
my
second one
watch
has Robert
list.
De Niro
so-
in it as a young Vito Corleone, and it's really good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Honestly, just gotta give it another chance.
Yeah, give it a
like,
chance.
I really need to sit down and just watch it. Isn't it 3 hours though?
It's
Yeah.
long.
Oh,
Like
okay.
nothing wrong with that. I was just making sure
I
'cause
had to
it's
pee
just
really
a
bad,
commitment.
but I just wanted to stay in the theater.
It's the
keep
same
watching.
time commitment as Dark Knight Rises for me.
I was gonna say the Batman. That's like
Oh.
3 hours long. But
Mhm.
did I ever tell you my brother made a video about the Batman?
Oh, you did? Oh.
No, I never told this. So he has his own YouTube channel called The Last Call because his name's Colin.
Oh.
So it's just Last Call
Okay.
COL.
Oh.
That's it.
Okay.
So anyway, he
How
made a
clever.
video on the Batman, and he's like, and he basically says all these praises about it. Like he really likes it. Like the performance of Robert Pattinson was great. Gordon, I can't remember the actor's name, but like, the guy who plays Gordon, he was great.
Oh.
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah.
Really good in Westworld, by the way. Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah,
Kravitz as
Yep,
Catwoman was
that's Zoe
great.
Kravitz.
And the Riddler, Paul
Dano. Dano.
Dano,
All
yeah.
those 4 great performances. His problem was that nobody decided to go search for that angle of the photograph of the mayor and the girl with Oz in the background. No one thought to maybe go check that angle because it was later revealed that the Riddler sent that photo, and the Riddler's been living in that same apartment the entire time.
Oh, I see.
See, it would have made more sense if he had separate apartments like around Gotham. That would have made more
Spoilers,
sense.
by the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
It's been out since March.
I'm still gonna
has
put it
been
'cause it's
almost
semi-recent.
Almost a
It's
year.
been out since March last year. People, if you haven't seen it, watch it.
I'll try to put a
Well,
timestamp.
people like me, like who don't watch anything.
Well, I didn't even
I
spoil
s-
the
I
ending.
saw it in
I just
theaters. I saw
spoiled
it in
a somewhat
theaters, but-
twist in the movie.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
one of many.
Yeah,
twists
that's
in that
not. That's
movie.
not a big.
It's not a big spoiler.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, he pointed out like saying like, why did none of the police try to go search that angle and try to go find it, or Batman at least, the world's greatest detective, didn't
Right.
think, I'll go find that angle of the photographer and
Right.
see where it is. Granted, he probably was like, oh, it just could have been at the top of that rooftop there, and not in the apartment. But like, if this was the Arkham games, where in Arkham City he's literally searching where the bullet hit and follows the trail all the way to a church that's like 20 miles away.
Right.
You could do the same thing with a photograph. Come on.
I mean,
Like, I agree with that. I still love the movie though.
I guess since we're talking about the Batman, and since I'm here,
Yeah.
I guess we gotta talk
Since
about
I'm here.
how much I love the Batman 2022 as opposed to 2008's Dark Knight. And I guess how you guys feel about the Dark Knight is how I feel about the Batman. Like, it was my favorite movie of last year. It's like one of my favorite movies of all time now.
Right, yeah.
But I just don't share that same love with the Dark Knight.
I just don't.
The respect, 100% yes, because that movie's extremely well made.
Yeah,
But not like personally, that's like doesn't do anything for me.
that's fair.
But-
Look, I don't like Rock Horror Picture Show. You don't like The Dark Knight. I'm not going to judge you on it. I'm
Oh, yeah,
still
me
going to
neither.
like what I like.
Wait, what do you not like?
Rock Horror
Rocky.
Picture Show.
The what short?
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. Bumped the mic again. But yeah, like I honestly, I thought the Batman for me, like, I just think it's just a really nice step in. It's just a step in the right direction, especially for when handling Batman in the DCU. I feel bad for Ben
It's
Affleck.
it's not in DCU. It's Elseworlds.
Yeah, it's their own world.
Batgirl could have just been Elseworld,
Yeah.
but all right.
Elseworld.
They could've done
Is
that.
that the
That's
confirmed
the official-
term?
Yeah,
That's
it's
the-
like the Star Wars
Oh,
extended
okay.
universe, but for or Legends. I guess it's like Star Wars Legends, but for DC.
I do appreciate
Yeah,
how
it's interesting. Okay.
DCEU, they pretty much like messed up so bad. It's like, you know what? You don't have to tie this together. Just make what you
Just
want.
make a good movie.
Just make a
something that
movie.
people will watch.
And I do appreciate how they're doing that, and like they did what Disney is too scared to do, because like for Disney, there's always like integrations with other
Right, yeah,
properties, and it's like, you know what?
Everything's webbed.
Wiping
together.
the slate clean, just make this your own thing. And I do appreciate that a lot, especially when you want to just make a singles Batman movie. Like, you just want to make a Batman where he is like the only hero to worry about right now.
Yeah.
This is before he makes connections. The superheroes don't even need to exist in that universe. He could just be the only one. Like what they kind of went for with Spider-Man, like from Sam Raimi's movies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which I believe that's where they're gonna keep it at. It's just Batman.
It's just Batman.
Yeah.
I believe that's
just-
what they're
just
gonna
Batman.
keep it
Mhm.
at that the entire time, which I'm very excited for this
Same.
sequel. I'm
Me
so
too.
excited for that.
The
'Cause
Batman
I-
Part 2.
I kind of want them to have it be blue, so just confirm that Mr. Freeze. is
Oh
the
my
villain.
god, dude.
I don't think
Uh,
they're gonna do that, but
it would be
I
so
want
cool,
them to do
though.
blue marketing because I love the Batman's marketing of just like red and black,
all
and that's
red,
it.
yeah.
E-match, like I just love in sequels
Imagine
when
it
they
going
like
blue.
completely
Yeah.
flip the color scheme. It's like this is a new style that we're going for. It's gonna be
And it
great.
would work too
Yeah.
with the end of the movie.
Yeah.
It would work too because
Yes.
like something happened, and then Mr. Freeze could easily take over because he freezes
Yeah.
shit. And
No,
it's
like this is exactly what me and my friends, because I saw it with 3 friends, and we were all like, well, since it's all maybe Mr. Freeze, Mr. Freeze
Yeah.
will come in
We're
now,
just, like, on the
freeze
same
the whole,
page, and
yeah.
It's not gonna be Mr. Freeze. That's
Yeah,
what's
no,
gonna
it's
happen.
gonna be some
hey,
other
look,
character.
they fixed the Riddler after Jim Carrey. They'll fix it. They'll fix Mr. Freeze after Arnold.
Forgot
All
about
right.
that. Yeah, right.
Honestly, like, and this probably doesn't make any sense. I think people will be disappointed. I think Batman Part 2 is just gonna be more Colin Farrell and the Joker.
Oh,
That's it.
Speaking of which, are you gonna watch the HBO Max Penguin series?
No.
No.
Unless I hear it has amazing reviews, I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, no.
It's
I
like
don't
how I
need
am
it.
with Velma.
I really
I'm
like
never gonna
Colin Farrell.
watch it.
I still like the Penguin a lot. Cade is kind of different.
Take it easy, sweetheart. Like, what are you doing? And it doesn't even look like Colin Farrell, too.
That's the point.
I mean, that is.
But
kinda
what's the point of hiring an actor like Colin Farrell?
Because
who
he's
is-
a great actor.
Yeah, but you don't know who that is. You could just hire anyone by that standards. You could hire Brendan Gleeson to just play the Penguin. Yeah, and you could do less prosthetics on his face because he already naturally has like a big face.
Is it all right if we pause recording for a bit? I just got a call from Kip.
Oh, from
Okay.
Oh,
I
the
just
one and
want to call
only
him
Kip.
back.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're good.
All right.
All right, we're back. I think if anything, I think this is just a good time to wrap up. I mean, we're already at like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're back
okay.
and now we're leaving.
I
Yeah.
forget what we were talking about
We
before.
were
In
talking
all
about the
honesty-
Batman. Just stuff we
Oh,
watched.
I just punched the. Okay.
I
Sorry,
just want to say thank you guys again for being here. I think we got a lot of good footage. I feel like this is a
Yeah.
great learning experience.
Oh yeah.
I'd say definitely. I really hope Joy doesn't crucify me with how this turned out. Again, just like
Right.
good experience. And
I
just
kind of
getting
want to give my
everything together.
prediction of what Joy is going to say here.
Probably
Oh,
just too
right.
long because I promised him like
Yeah.
30 to hour long
We
episodes.
can get those
You
to a
can
30
you can
minute.
cut this down. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can cut.
Oh,
this down.
definitely.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Like, you can have two versions, like the highlights of the podcast and then the full episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that is absolutely true. It can't be cut down, definitely.
But I think his reaction is literally going to be like, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
A little too long.
it's a good start.
It's a good start.
But
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Right.
I'm still probably gonna post this for everyone watching. Like, if you even like stuck for this long, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really hope that this does pick up at least for this whole semester. I'm really excited to pursue it. Everyone, just reintroduce yourself and say goodbye. Again, I'm Sebastian Booba. I'm too lazy to remember my plugs, my Twitter handles, and everything. So hopefully I can get better at that later.
And I'm Cade O'Connell. My Instagram is o'connell.cade. It's just that easy. And I have a Discord handle. Just like find the Kutztown Esports. You'll find my handle. Like, you can figure it out if you really want to like try to track me down. But good luck with that.
I'm Dereck Martinez. I could do shameless plugs like Cade, but I'm not going to.
What do you think? You're better than me?
He's just more Dirk than you. That's what it is.
That's
yeah.
true.
More dirt than you can handle.
I followed you on Instagram recently.
Rex, who
And
are you?
I followed you on Instagram
Yeah.
recently.
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm
Yeah.
Frank, and it was a pleasure to be on this podcast. This is exactly what my type of media is, because I can just spout garbage all day.
I'm just happy to have this like at all.
Oh, yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
just like
Me too,
recorded
yeah.
conversation. It's great to have. Great to
Oh, yeah.
have in like
Oh,
a
yeah.
demo reel, I guess.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, that,
It's really good.
this I feel like this is a really great start. I learned a lot, definitely, especially when looking at the footage. So I hope. Honestly, just hoping for the best. So everyone, you have a great night.